Hello everybody, so I didn't quite expect to be making a video today. I was trying to come up with an idea for the next video, and then this fell into my lap. So over the course of the past few days, they decided to just do a bunch of Transformers reveals, starting out with Wave 4 for Legacy United. So here we have our core class Galvatron. We knew this was coming, so it's not that surprising. However, I finally got to see that unnamed Armorizer. His name is Geocron, and he's a repaint of Boulder Crash. Here's the Megatron and Galvatron from Energon alongside each other, both the core class versions. And then here's Geocron and Boulder Crash. And the reason I'm trying to just get through these as fast as possible is because A, we have a lot to talk about, and B, I don't really care for core class, so I'm just trying to scoop by these. So, yeah, the first of these reveals that I was actually, super intrigued with was the Legacy United Deluxe class Slipstream. Now, this is her Cyberverse incarnation and not her animated incarnation like what was previously believed. But this is a repaint of the previously released Legacy United Windblade, which I actually have in my hands right now, but you can't see that. And some people have issues with the figure. I don't. I think it looks good. I really like the colors. It gives off some Jolly Ranger Total Berry vibes. And she will include her null ray. She will include a set of null rays. Now, the weird thing is that Windblade and subsequently Slipstream doesn't really have any ports on her shoulders that are good to use for null rays. So you're just kind of stuck either having them slung underneath her arms or having them in her hands like guns. And there's a plane mode, which I think really goes to highlight the colors more. And then there's her box. And then next up is the Generation 1 Quake, who is a double target master. So you get, two target master folks here. And here's his alt mode. Now, the weird thing is that, believe it or not, this is the Legacy Skullgrin, basically retooled from completely. And at first when I heard this, I was like, what? Because it is such an extensive retool. That's kind of insane, and it kind of explains why Slipstream over here is a basic repaint with no real changing done to the molding. So, yeah, and then there's Quake in his box art. So, moving on to the Voyager classes. I'm sorry, we had one more. Deluxe Class Optimus Prime. And from here, I will admit, most of these photos are from the product designers because they got to reveal this. Instead of it being in a live stream, they went on Instagram and Twitter and all that. And got to post these photos, which was honestly a really cool thing. So yeah, now this is not at all what I was expecting. I was expecting the Earthrise Voyager, or the Earthrise Leader shrunk down to the Deluxe Class. But no, this is much more like Missing Link on a budget. Example, take a look. It is the Generation 1 Optimus Prime toy, but with added articulation, better proportions, better looks. And the cool part is he even has a pull-down chest for Matrix, and you get two guns, and his smokestacks also double as guns. And here's the back of the box where you can see his alt mode, and the cool part is he will include an Energon X, so yeah. Pretty neat. And I fully expect in a few months' time we'll see probably the SSA-6 Bumblebee or something similar repackaged with this and a trailer. Kind of like what happened with the core class Bumblebee and Optimus Prime. So yeah, now it's the Voyager class with Metalhawk here, who, honestly, I really like it. So this is a repack of the previously released Legacy Evolution Voyager, but with updated colors to bring him more closer to, I believe, the original toy. Yeah, which is nice, because I kind of prefer the gray to the yellow, or not the yellow, to the white. And there's just some other changes here and there that honestly make me like this version over the original. At first I just thought, simple repack, I could get either or. But honestly, I kind of do want to get this version over the original version. So, yeah, and here's his alt mode, which it's very weird jet because of its nature as a retool of a Cybertronian jet, that being the Kingdom Cyclonus from a few years ago. But, oh well. Next up is Animated Universe Motormaster, also in the Voyager class. Now, this one was not really that hard to figure out what it was going to look like, because we already had a pretty good idea. But hey, he does look pretty good here, and he does include the axe and the light bar, and he's got the animated Motormaster head. Now, one thing I find weird is that in Transformers Animated, well, not in the show, but because the Stunticons were a BotCon box set, they actually got unique Stunticon logos, but that's not here. So if you really want that, I'm 95% sure when this drops later this year, Toy Hacks will come out with an official sticker set to add the Stunticon con logos back. So, yeah. Oh, here's the back of the box, where you can just see them. So yeah, a very basic repaint that I'm not buying. And this is the one that I am buying. Soundwave! This is so cool to me. So this is a repack of the Netflix War for Cybertron Earthrise Voyager class Soundwave. However, despite being sold as a Voyager class, he is priced at the leader price point. So for all effective purposes, he's leader Soundwave. So what do you get? Well, you get three whole cassettes here. Buzzsaw, who is brand new. We have not seen Buzzsaw in nearly 10 years. I'm going to say that again, 10 years. The last Buzzsaw was 2013's Combiner Wars. So, hey, it's really nice for getting modern Buzzsaw that is compatible. Then you get Ravage, who's a simple repaint of the Earthrise version. And the reason that these two are included is because, well, they were included with the original version. May as well do something unique and give us a Buzzsaw, which is nice, but it does make it kind of hard to get Laserbeak. And then you get the Blue Idiot Goblin. That's what I call Soundwave's two minions. I don't call them Rumble or Frenzy because you call them by their color. You know, their names got mixed up, and depending on who you talk to, the red one's Rumble or the blue one's Rumble. And no side can agree, so I just call them the Blue Idiot Goblin and the Red Idiot Goblin. And as you can see here, it's a Blue Idiot Goblin, which is the same mold as the SSA 6 version. So yeah, and here they are in alt mode, which looks super nice. And then here's the box. Oh, spoiled the next one. I wasn't finished on talking about Soundwave. So yeah, I'm incredibly happy for this because I like Soundwave. I don't have a good Soundwave, and this is like actually going to be relatively easy to get, because as far as I'm aware, where I live never stocked any of the leader classes, or not leader, but really any of the Netflix figures. I think I only saw the Mirage and Soundwave, the Mirage and Sideswipe one time in a Walmart, and never, ever again. So I'm happy that I will be able to finally get a Soundwave, and he will include 3. I totally believe in a few years we could see a 3-pack with the Red Idiot Goblin, Laserbeak, and maybe Ratbat. Or we could see Sound Blaster include those 3 that uses this mold. Again, don't really know, but hey. So next up for leader class is Galvatron from Armada. We kind of knew from the Tidal Wave box what this was going to look like, so this isn't all that huge of a surprise, but hey, here's his alt mode, and he looks pretty good. Not much to say. I'm not buying this. I don't really have any reason to buy this, so yeah. Now, this was an unexpected surprise to also drop this week. So Legacy United has had this thing where we get box sets, and we got a brand new GoBots box set. Yes, because Hasbro bought out the GoBots. They now have rights to do it. And years ago, an official partner of Takara, I believe, named eHobby, did this box set with a bunch of the mini bots repainted into GoBots characters. So, for example, Bumblebee got turned into Bug Bite and so on. And here we finally got the remaining few ones that we needed. So, in the center, the Green Warpath is officially known as the GoBot Treads. The blue Cosmos is known as Pathfinder, and the red and yellow version of Gears is known as Smallfoot, I think, or Littlefoot. I don't remember. Here's our all modes. They look nice. I'm not buying this. I'm not a GoBots person, nor do I really have a particular affinity for any of these characters. Like, I'm not a huge Warpath fan. I'm not a huge Cosmos fan, and I certainly am not a huge Gears fan. So, not really much to me here. But hey, GoBots fans, you will be happy. And to continue unexpected repaints, the comic book line is giving us a new 2-pack featuring the Autobot Flame and the Emirate Axiron. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, but hey. Now, I don't expressly know what mold Autobot Flame is using. I could take a guess, but I'd likely be wrong. And I just don't really care that much because I'm not buying this. But what did strike me is that Axiron here is actually a repaint of a very old figure. That being the the War for Cybertron Siege Deluxe class Refractor / Reflector, if you care about proper names. And that was just a weird choice to use, in my opinion. But hey, it does kind of work. So yeah, and here's a closer look at them. They look good. Here's our all modes. Again, looks good. I didn't read the Marvel Comics, so I don't really have a particular affinity for these characters. But hey, if you grew up reading the Marvel Comics, or you just really like these colors on these molds, knock your lights out and purchase this. And finally, a shocking reveal to me was the Lego Bumblebee got officially revealed. So this is meant to pair with the already released Lego Icons Optimus Prime set. And this is a fully transforming Bumblebee, by the way. Who turns into a Volkswagen, albeit squished, but a Volkswagen, and he looks incredibly good. His face, I'm assuming it's one piece. It may be a sticker, may not be a sticker. I don't really know. But here's the all mode. It looks good. And that's all the reveals. That's a lot, I know. So as to what I'm buying and what I'm not going to be buying from this set of reveals, I'm not buying Lego Bumblebee. It's too much money, and I don't have the Optimus Prime. Well, I should rephrase that. It's not too much money. It's going to retail for about $90-ish, but I just don't really want a Lego Bumblebee. I've already got enough Legos, and on top of that, enough Bumblebees, so I don't really need another one. The Comic Universe 2-pack, I'm not buying this. I don't read the Marvel Comics. If I were a fan of the Marvel Comics, then I would probably buy this. But as someone who's just never really been into the Marvel Comics, I can easily skip on this 2-pack. I've already mentioned, I'm not buying the GoBots. Not a GoBots guy. Probably will never be a GoBots guy. But hey, for you GoBots or completionists out there who bought Bug Bite and now have to get the rest of them, here you go. Galvatron, again, I'm not buying. I don't really need a Galvatron. No, nor do I need Megatron, because I already actually, believe it or not, have the original Megatron from 2002. The original, Armada Megatron. So I don't really feel the need to purchase any updated version. Soundwave, 100% buy this. I think Soundwave is really cool. And the fact that you get 3 of the minions here is awesome. It adds so much more value to this than I could have ever expected. And I'm happy with the ones they chose because you don't get any duplicates. duplicates, and they all have wildly different color schemes from Soundwave himself. Like, yeah, Buzzsaw is golden, which does match up with some of the yellow accents on Soundwave. And sure, technically, the Blue Idiot Goblin does kind of match Soundwave's purple, but they're very different shades, so they don't really conflict. And I mean, just look at that looks so good. Even if I'm probably never going to use the Ravage, just keep it in the chest, because from what I heard, that Ravage does kind of suck. Motormaster, I'm skipping this. Despite being a huge animated fan, these guys were never in the show, and even though I really like the original Sonicon drop box set, this just isn't really hitting the mark like I thought it would. But hey, he looks really good, and I mean, the mold definitely feels like it was partially made with this version in mind. The reason I say this is because the more buffed out version of Optimus that this mold tries to portray, I think fits Motormaster better than it does Optimus. But oh well. Animated Toxitron win. That'd be a version I'd buy, because I can go wrong with the Toxitron. Its colors are so fun. Metal Hawk, I'm definitely buying this. I love Metal Hawk's design in robot mode, and these colors go far beyond the originals in my mind. Deluxe Class Optimus, I'm on the fence about this one. I may purchase it just because of the novelty of it being a sort of missing link on a budget. And also, one thing I find really cool about this is that because the engineering was so simple, they actually had leftover money to put on rubber tires, which is so cool, because going to... Oh, wait. There's no one really else here that turns into a traditional vehicle. But, anyways, if you look at almost every other modern figure that turns into a car or truck, they have plastic wheels because it's just cheaper. But here, the rubber wheels are nice. Really, the only other figure in modern memory with that was Legacy Beachcomber, and that's because that figure was small enough to have leftover budget. And this, despite not being small, does have enough, is so simple that you can put on the rubber tires and not really stretch that deluxe class budget any further, which I love. And I mean, hey, I don't really have a good stand-in for Generation 1 Optimus Prime. Quake, I'm not buying. I'm just not a Target Master man. Power Masters are my jam, but not the Target Masters. Slipstream, I'm on the fence just because I already have the Windblade and I like her so much that I don't think I need a second version in colors that are admittedly better, but also less accurate to the version of Slipstream that I wanted. I wanted an animated version, not a Cyberverse version, but oh well. And the core classes, I'm not buying. So yeah. So let me know what you think of these Transformers reveals down below. What you'll be buying, what you won't be buying, or just general thoughts. Because, I've seen some discourse, I haven't really heard much about the core classes, but it's mostly with the Slipstream here, the Optimus, and I need to go through my slides, and the Soundwave that people have issues with. Well, the Optimus people don't have issues with. They're more just oh my god, it's missing Link on a budget. How awesome. But the Soundwave and Slipstream, it's mostly from lack of retooling or why are they re-releasing this. But personally, I get why they'd be re-releasing Soundwave. I mean, he was a hugely desired figure. And the problem was that because this was Netflix, the figures were made in limited quantities, meaning that they were just much harder to get in the first place. And then scalpers caught on that, hey, there's a Soundwave that's really limited and really hard to find, and people are going to want it. So then the scalpers started doing their thing and buying up a good chunk of them, which is likely the reason I never saw Soundwave back when the Netflix line first dropped. So, yeah, I'm in the boat that defends this Soundwave. and I'm gonna defend it because I like Soundwave, and I think this is an awesome figure. And for really my first good version of Soundwave, I'm incredibly happy that's gonna be this version of the character. That's gonna be this figure with these cassettes. But for Slipstream, it's because of just what she is, her nature as a limited retool, and on top of the fact that, well, admittedly, again, it's not the version of Slipstream that I know. I love Transformers Animated. It's my favorite Transformers show, and it's like the piece of media that I personally have a really deep connection to. So, the fact that this is a version of Slipstream that I don't really have any connection to, that being the Cyberverse version, I just can't really find it in me to actually care about this. So I'm on the fence about it, but other than that, I'd say overall this is a pretty great wave of figures, with some highs and with the lows not really being that low, only being about a 5 out of 10 at most. So, yeah. So, I will see you next time when there is more stuff to be talked about, or when something interesting happens. So, goodbye.